destroying local public services. They want a small state. The only thing the small state hurts are people who rely on the state. That's the old, that's the poor, that's the unemployed, that's the weak, that's the disabled. And that is what we're here to fight for. We want the state to stay and support people. And the jobs that will go in the public sector will be massive and will have a knock-on effect in the private sector. High unemployment, people don't have money to spend, local private businesses will suffer. This is about, tonight, if we believe there's a consultation process, and we believe that's the biggest con that's ever been carried out on the people of Wirral. The number of people who will get a questionnaire is minute. The questions have been formed by people who are not elected. The consultation process, it is a sham, and that's what the first stage is tonight, to undermine the consultation process that is being carried out in your name, with your council tax money, and is saying to people, there is no alternative but to privatise. There is no alternative but to sack people. There is no alternative but to get people to do on a voluntary basis what people are being paid a full-time wage to do now. That's not the big society, that's helping big business, and that is an ideological attack on the state. We must stand firm, we must stand together. Anyone on the left side of politics must stand together now. This is the biggest fight we've faced in our lifetime, I believe. This government is hell-bent on destruction of the fabric of society we live in. Stick together. Thanks for coming out, and let's go for it.
And the latest news this afternoon, the Public Sector Union PCS is called for a national demonstration in London on the 11th of December. We haven't been able to push the TUC, but the second biggest public sector union has done that, and let's hope, girls, we can get unison to support that. Debbie, do you want to say a few words to
Basically, like the previous speaker said, we've got to everyone stick together on this and fight the cuts. It's no good everyone fighting individual causes. The biggest effect we can have is by coming together and fighting together. Just a couple of examples of why these cuts do not need to be made. The public sector doesn't need to be slashed. If we withdrew from Afghanistan, that would save us £4.5 billion. If money was collected that currently is evaded or avoided through taxation, that would be 123 billion every year. In 2 years' time, we could wipe the deficit and have a surplus. Last year, the richest 1,000 people in Britain, their wealth increased by £77 billion. Just a 10% tax on that would give you 7.7 billion a year. These kind of examples show why the public sector doesn't need to be cut. This is not economic reasoning, this is ideology. This is the Conservative government wanting to get rid of the public sector and the welfare state, something they've been hell-bent on doing since Thatcher's days. We've got to stand together on this. Everyone's standing together. We will fight back, and we will fight back on